Are we online? Are we online? Possibly? Stream manager hates that I did this. Hates that I did it. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good. Let me check. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Alright. Well, with all that said, no more dilly-dallying. Let's just go ahead, friggin' hop into the game. I'm on the wrong screen, aren't I? Hold on. Alt-tab, into the game. Yay. What did I miss? Nothing. I got a call and I had to take that, so I just restarted the stream. Because I was like, it's dead air anyway, and I don't want to have to go back and edit that out. So, for real this time, we're actually going to start the time block. Yay! Hello, Black Blue. I hope you have been well. Let's just start with Achi. Let's just start with Achi. He's in the title for today's stream anyway. Kanan led them into a narrow back alley. The moment she stopped, Hitomi spoke up. Members of SOS don't come by here very much. Word has it that in this place, around 10 years ago, one man beat the crap out of 7 street thugs in the blink of an eye, all by himself, and that man's name was Courie. When are we gonna see Courie? We've never had any follow-through with that. Over time, people have offered various theories, that he was an assassin, that he was some foreign soldier, even that he might have been a ghost, and to this day, the urban legend lives on. Alright, cool. Why was my sister kidnapped? Before I answer that, there's something I need to tell you, Kanan said. Her tone was cold and sharp. I've come to Japan because I'm on a mission. I'm not at liberty to discuss all the details. Alright. Hitomi gave a slight nod. That's gotta be a reference to another game. Probably. Probably. Or maybe like a real-life urban legend somewhere that maybe locals would be familiar with. Something like that. Something. To answer your question, Maria was kidnapped by mistake. What? Hitomi gasped. But why? Because this kidnapper isn't after Maria. They're after you. Who's after me? The mastermind behind this whole thing, Kanan said. Her tone was matter-of-fact. Whoa, hold on, Achi interrupted. What did they want Hitomi for? That I cannot say. Well, then who is this person? I can't tell you that either. You see, their sex, nationality, age, appearance. Just about everything about them is shrouded in mystery. So there's honestly not much I can tell you. Oh boy. Having a big Danganronpa moment right now. Who's the mastermind? I don't know. Achi and Hitomi stood dumbfounded. What gives? Achi said. So you're saying all you know is that this person is some lame name like Mastermind? Hitomi turned to whisper in his ear. Mastermind isn't actually their name. Originally used solely to refer to some remarkable intellects, the term first took on criminal connotations in the 19th century. Well, today I learned. I did not know that. The mastermind has to be redacted. It always is. I'm here, Kanan spat, because I'm looking for revenge. Revenge? Hitomi asked. What for? This person also killed my friend. Oh, okay, that's a big lore drop there. That's rough, buddy. Kanan's inscrutable eyes flashed a threatening gleam. Earlier you said it was your fault that my sister got kidnapped. Hitomi said. Kanan cast her eyes down. 4 days ago, I managed to learn this criminal's plan. So I got in touch with Maria and told her that you were going to be attacked at that party. I knew it. So Maria did that intentionally. So that's why she told me not to go. Hitomi's voice trembled as she spoke. I gave Maria a small GPS tracker to give to you, but I guess you never got it. What is this video? Whoa! Oh my gosh! Graphics, animation, satellites, amazing. A global positioning system, a network of man-made satellites and ground-based control stations for providing geolocation data. Alternatively, a device that makes use of said system. Modern cell phones and vehicle navigation systems use the GPS. Indeed they do. Hitomi shook her head. I see. She must still have it then. Wait, so then my sister... The color drained from Hitomi's face as she understood. Yes, Kanan said. Maria acted as a decoy and let herself get kidnapped in your stead. Hitomi swayed on her feet, shocked to the verge of fainting. Achi reached out and caught her in his arms. Very important that we don't have another faint ending, because that would suck. My life would be infinitely more difficult without GPS. I get lost no matter where I go. Same. Sometimes I like I'm driving and I'll get a call and it's just like that interrupts the GPS and I'm like, oh no, what am I doing? Where do I go? So that also sucks. It's like I don't think I would be able to live without GPS. But wait, he said to Kanan as he held Hitomi up. I don't get that either. Why did neither of them go? Then why didn't neither of them go? Then nobody would have been kidnapped, right? I mean, why'd her sister need to go and act as a decoy? Kanan let out a tiny sigh. If she hadn't gone to the party, the kidnappers would have just found some other opportunity to come after her. Okay. Achi nodded. That sort of makes sense. I'm betting that Maria's plan was to use the GPS to lead me to these guys' hideout. She wanted to keep her sister safe, and also figured she could help me with my mission. It's the sort of scheme she'd think of. Who was Tama before all of this? I just have to wonder. Really incredible, really amazing. So then, can't you use the GPS to locate Hitomi's sister? Achi said. Kanan shook her head. The GPS hasn't been powered on since she was kidnapped. It's possible the kidnappers took it from her. Wait, what? So after all that, even you can't find Maria? Achi slumped his shoulders in disappointment. I think that Hitomi may actually be fainted. She's just been there for a while. I didn't say that. What do you mean? I got some intel from those syndicate members we met earlier. Apparently, sometime this morning they put Maria into a blue minivan, and since then they've been moving her all around Shibuya. That is just not true. That is just not true at all. Achi and Hitomi exchanged glances at the mention of the blue minivan. Unfortunately, Kanan continued, those operatives didn't exactly know what the current situation was. So we're back to the blue van then. Achi hurriedly explained what they'd been through so far. He mentioned how they'd first seen the blue van where the kidnappers had told Hitomi to find it. He also described how first the man with the cane and then a host of others had come after them. He got a little sidetracked here and there, but Kanan quietly listened to the end. I see, she muttered. So then, what do you think? Achi asked. Seems like we messed up their scheme a little, huh? That was me talking. Whatever the case, this man with the cane concerns me. The man with the cane is currently meeting with Maria right now, so that'll be interesting. Kanan said. I doubt he's working with the others. I don't know what that means. Maybe that's it. Some guy who isn't involved butts in and throws their whole plan off. Kanan nodded in agreement. Because you and that man with the cane showed up, she said. They couldn't leave the minivan where it was. They took a sensible precaution. But if you think about it, isn't this an opportunity for us to turn the tables on Mr. Mastermind? Kanan flashed him a faint speculative smile. I wonder about that. Aw, come on, Achi grumbled. You're such a buzzkill. Any well-made plan has a good, solid outline, which means that even after it has to come to fruition, blah blah blah. This is gonna be one of those days where reading is hard and words are difficult. It's easy to trace things back to the planner. Is that how it works? By contrast, if you achieve your goals using accidental means, the outline becomes blurred, and it makes it harder for anyone outside looking in to grasp what the actual plan is. Achi swallowed hard as he took in the gravity of the situation. Oh well, but I mean, like, if there's an accident, people are gonna for sure panic, plan or not. The corners of Kanan's lips curled up. Typically, I suppose, she said. But the people who are after Hitomi, not only have they put together a perfect plan, they've purposely left certain tiny holes in it. I think I see what you're saying. Maybe. So we can't even figure out who they are. Oh, okay, yeah. The outline of the plan is always too blurry. Achi had no response to that. It was like he was hearing about some completely different world beyond the one he knew. If what Kanan had said was true, he'd been dealing with opponents that were on the level way above his own. Yeah, basically. Basically, yeah. In any event, since these people are after you, it'd be best if you didn't wander around town anymore, Kanan told him. By now, Hitomi had recovered. That took quite a bit, Hitomi. She stood up straight and shook her head. No, I'm going to find that blue minivan. My sister is in danger because of me. I can't abandon her just to save myself. Yeah, that's right. Achi patted Hitomi on the back. This is a cute image. Hold on. Yeah, I have a screenshot of this. And if that's what you're gonna do, then I don't care who we're up against. I'm with you until the end. Heck, it's too late for me to back out now. That ship has already failed. Already failed. Hitomi giggled despite herself. It's already sailed, Achi. Yeah, that. I don't know. Whatever. Held by Automod for misogyny. Amazing. Automod, what are you doing? Allow. Why? Automod is having a time today. Amazing. I have no clue. Anyway, she looks like a little girl who has a tummy ache. Yeah, her face was very cute there. Kanan let out a little sigh. I'm on the wrong tab, aren't I? Oh, shoot. Wait. This time for sure. Yeah. Okay. All right. Just make sure you're extra careful, she said. You can't count on getting bailed out of trouble like you have before. I understand, Hitomi said. Her eyes showed no trace of doubt or fear. Kanan gave her a slight nod, then quickly disappeared down the alleyway. Right then, Achi said. Want to get back to looking for that minivan? Then he stopped, remembering their previous efforts. If they just heedlessly wandered around town, they'd probably end up in the same trouble they'd encountered before. They get chased by the man with the cane or by the kidnappers, and their search would be interrupted yet again. What should they do then? There had to be a better way. Achi happened to glance upward and caught sight of a surveillance camera installed on one of the streetlights. That's it! Ah, I can't believe I didn't think of it before. Hitomi peered at him, startled by his sudden shouting. We just need to use my old man's surveillance cameras and this will be a breeze. He just has access to that all the time? I mean, he's the one who installed them, of course. So I guess he's the company behind it, so yeah, he would have access to it. Okay, alright, sure. Achi took Hitomi by the hand and started running. His destination? The security camera monitoring room in Dogenzaka. Achi didn't slow his pace until they were nearing their destination. Then he turned to look back at Hitomi. He was about to ask if she was doing alright when someone close at hand called out to him. Oh my gosh. Hi, Minorikawa. How are you doing? What's going on? Hey, mind if I ask you something? Have you ever heard of SOS? Achi stopped in his tracks as the stranger stepped in front of him. The guy looked too old to be picking a fight with SOS. Achi regarded him with suspicion. Yeah, why do you ask? Do you happen to be a member yourself? No, not anymore. The man's eyes flashed with a gleam of recognition. Did this guy know who he was? With a broad grin, the stranger took a step closer. Surely he should know who Hitomi is. Achi's heart sank. He couldn't afford to get caught up in some new hassle right now. Hitomi flashed him a worried look. Let's go. Achi and Hitomi dodged past the man and hurried onward. Even if the guy was harmless, they needed to be on their guard. I have a feeling that I'm gonna hop to Minorikawa or something and get a bad end. Or maybe I'm about to get a bad end right now. Something about that. Well, he's never seen Hitomi. Has he not? I assumed he had, like, pictures of... Oh, wait. Okay, that's a false memory of mine. I thought when he was talking to Rumi, I thought that Rumi had shown him pictures of her. I guess not. Even if the guy was harmless, they needed to be on their guard. There was no telling just how many thugs and assassins were looking for Hitomi. Rather than head directly for the surveillance building, Achi decided he better make sure the stranger wasn't up to something. Hitomi followed as he slipped quickly into the back alley. There was no indication that the man was following them. What was that guy's deal? Hitomi asked. Rumi told him about the beauty pageant, but I don't think she had photos. Okay, I see. I assumed that because she was a judge, she would have had the photos, but I guess not. I guess not. No idea. But he sure seemed kind of fishy. Doesn't look like he's coming after us, though. They took a quick detour through another seedy back alley. Then, as they were starting to head toward their original destination, Achi felt a sudden searing pain in his back. Oops, sounds like a bad end. That's the look of someone who's totally been stabbed. Totally been stabbed. Glancing over his shoulder, he discovered that one of the foreign syndicate members had crept up and struck him from behind. If only Achi had not been there. If only... Oh no, I've been stabbed. Oh no, I've been stabbed. Oh. Hitomi screamed. Another man suddenly appeared, grabbing her by the arms. Ah well. Hitomi. Achi tried to reach out to her, but his arm was leaden. His body refused to obey his commands. He's still upright. He's still upright, though, with the knife in his back. Just amazing. Okay. The pageant was also a while ago. I doubt she would have the photos just on her, even if she did have them. That's fair, I guess. That's fair. As the attacker wrenched the knife from his back, Achi felt the blood gushing out of his wound. The two men started to drag Hitomi away. Damn it. He tried to pursue them, but his legs faltered and couldn't find their footing. He was losing blood so fast, he was starting to fade from consciousness. Achi could only watch impotently as Hitomi was dragged further and further away. If only he had stopped to talk to Minorikawa. If only. Ah well. Stabbed by a kidnapper. Wahoo. Achi got stabbed. Caught in a surprise attack by one of the kidnappers, he could only watch helplessly as Hitomi was taken away. If that weird... Oh. What? If that weird guy hadn't tried to talk to him. Oh, so... Right, because they took a detour because he was there. Achi would have never taken the risk of wandering through the alleys. But how can you keep a guy like that from wanting to interview Achi? I don't know either. To be honest, I don't know how to stop Minorikawa from Minorikawaing. He needs to be stopped. Alright. Well, with that said... Do I want to hop into that? Or... I really want to follow up with Maria and the man with the cane. So... Legit, I might just do that, and then afterwards we'll head over to Minorikawa. So there I was, about to die. Wait, hold on! Is my name Hitomi Osawa? At my shout, the man with the cane hesitates, his finger on the trigger. What do you mean by that? The barrel of the gun is still aimed squarely at my head, but I don't care. I mean exactly what I said. Is my name Hitomi Osawa? I don't know who I am. You're trying to play games with me. I'm not playing with anyone, I swear. I'm utterly desperate now. Getting killed is one thing, but who wants to die without even knowing who they are? I have to know first. Then you can shoot me. Tell me, am I Hitomi Osawa or not? The man gives me a good hard look. Damn it. I wonder. He continues to study me along the barrel of the gun. Tell me what you know. It's an order, not a request. What I know about what? Look, I have amnesia. I quickly summarized what's happened to me since I woke up in that storehouse. And then I was selling Burning Hammer, and then the Burning Hammer event had like a bunch of people who were angry at us, and then we had a little fight scene, and then we kind of lost. But then I got some money, and then I've been walking around. Okay, you didn't have to tell me all that. Shut up. The man listens intently, never taking his eyes off me. Ah, I see. So that's what's going on then. Once I'm done with my story, the man with the cane sits down on an empty soda crate. He seems to believe me, at any rate. That's a relief, if nothing else. So then, am I Hitomi Osawa? No. Then who is Hitomi Osawa? Is she someone who looks like me? Shut your mouth. The man spits. Just be quiet. His expression is vacant. What am I going to do? He mutters to himself. If I'm not Hitomi Osawa, does that mean you don't have any business with me? 'Cause if not, I'm just gonna leave. Seems so. In that case, can I go? The assassin doesn't answer. He lets his pistol hang limp in his hand, the muzzle dropping to point at the ground. It doesn't look like he wants to kill me anymore, but it doesn't look like he'll just let me go quietly either. I remain motionless. I need to do something about the gun he has and then make a run for it. I mean, you're capable enough to do something. You know what? Try it. Can I go? No, apparently not. Apparently not, even though he doesn't want to kill me. So why am I still here? Hello, Chu. I hope you have been well. I need to do something about that gun he has and then make a run for it. I pick up one of the crates that are lying around in the alley and hurl it at the man with the cane, just casually. Then I book it right out of there. Ah, well. I run for a long time without looking back. When I finally do take a peek over my shoulder, there's no sign of the guy following me. Oh, interesting. It's, yeah, Miku. Huh. I guess this is gonna be a recurring character. I didn't really think that she would be. Slowing my run to a walk, I noticed Miku, the girl I fought for those cases of burning hammer, sitting on a nearby staircase. Thanks for earlier, I call out. She gives me a puzzled look. You let me have those diet drinks from the knick-knack shop? Revelation dawns on her face, and then we get that goofy music. Oh, right. I didn't recognize you since you're not a cat anymore. What are you doing here? I ask. Just like, you know. She gives me a half-hearted smile. Say, where'd you learn Aiki Jujutsu? Huh? The question catches me off guard. I don't know what to say. Your Aiki Jujutsu? Where did you learn it? My Aiki Jujutsu? Now that she mentions it, that's a great question. I mean, I must have learned somewhere, or my body wouldn't have moved the way it did back then. I wonder who taught me. Try as I might, though, I can't remember. Miku interprets my silence as a refusal to answer. She lets out an annoyed snort. What? Is it a trade secret? Fine. How long did you train? Not that long, I guess. Probably, I don't know. I'm just trying to avoid telling her I have amnesia, but she obviously thinks I'm being secretive. You know, she says angrily, after losing to you, I've completely fallen apart. I've lost everything. Do you know how that feels? To feel like you've lost hold of the thing that makes you, you? I mean, you didn't have to quit. You didn't have to quit. I nod with conviction. I do know, you have no idea. I've lost things too. Like my memory and that girl I was supposed to be protecting, but oh well. You do? Well, I just can't take this anymore. I'm having a complete breakdown of identity. Developmental psychologist Eric Hamburger Erickson was a key proponent of the concept of self-identity, the ability of individuals to continually and reliably know who they are and what they should do. Yay, psychology course. I mean, I'm saying this having lost to you and all, but a long time ago. Oh, do you mind if I tell you some stuff from a long time ago? Anyway, so a long time ago, well, I do mind, but sure. And so Miku launches into her story. Her entire life story. You think maybe it is for the best if I quit? She asks at last. By now, 15 minutes or so have gone by. I've listened to Miku go on and on about her teenage years because I feel bad about getting her so depressed, but yikes. Yikes! She's asked me all these questions I don't even understand, but although I'm starting to get sort of fed up with her angst, I keep my patience and respond as best I can. If you love doing it, then I don't think you should quit, I tell her. Chances are, if you try to do something else, you're just going to come back to martial arts anyway. Besides, you probably owe it to the person who sent you down this path in the first place. You think so? Maybe you're right. Yeah, you are. Miku's face has regained a measure of cheerfulness. Thanks. I'm going to keep practicing more and more so I get stronger. I'm not going to lose to you next time. I'll keep that in mind. I've got no interest in fighting her again, but for now, I keep that to myself. Alright then, see you around. With a parting wave, Miku hops to her feet and heads off. As I watch her leave, a feeling of jealousy wells up within me. Did I once have something I was passionate about? I don't actually know. We don't know anything about you. Other than what Hitomiya said it, and Hitomi says that, wow, she's literally so perfect. I just wish that I was like hers, you know, or stuff like that. So I don't even know because I can't remember. I just can't remember. That gunman, the one with the cane, he might know something about me. And at this point, I'm even willing to risk a run-in with a killer to find out more about myself. Sure, that seems like a very safe thing to do. I decide to head back to where he was before. She's so perfect. She's just the best of us. When I arrive at the alley, though, there's nobody there. Paradoxically, I'm both relieved and severely disappointed. Then I happen to notice something lying on the ground. What is it? Is this his own version of the dictum? So it is, I keep thinking his name is Toyama. It's not Toyama. Toyama is the dad. This is the police officer or whatever. I pick it up. It's a notebook. Slipped into the back cover is a photo of showing 2 boys and a girl. Well, what do I do now? Do I go to the police? How would I even explain the situation? I can see it now. There's this killer out there, and he's after this person named Hitomi Osawa, and then the police would be like, who is that? And who exactly is after her? And then, oops. And then what would I say? Heck, they might not even give me the time of day in the first place. Not only do I not have any idea who Hitomi Osawa is, I know nothing about the guy who's after her except that he walks with a cane. Honestly, very vital information. Like, I get your thought process here, but it's pretty vital information that the police would love to know right now. They'd be like, oh. And then they'd also probably be like, wait a minute, aren't you? You know, maybe they could help you with your lost identity. I mean, I can't even tell them who I am. They'd probably shoo me away without a second thought. What am I supposed to do? I hang my head at a total loss. The necklace around my neck sways idly to and fro. Huh. And then I gotta keep out. Cool, neat, awesome. That was great. Thanks, Shibuya Scramble. I'm not surprised by that. It didn't really seem like there was a lot for her to do at that moment. So, yeah, that makes sense. Even if they didn't believe her, she has no real reason not to tell them. Yeah, true. True. At the very least, they would help her find out who she is. But I don't know why. It's just kind of plot convenience. Like, this plot would be over in 3 hours if she had gone to the police. So, oh well, she's gonna walk around a bit more. But still, the story continues. Let's head over to Minorikawa and then stop Achi from getting a bad end where he gets stabbed. We're picking up right where we left off. Okay. Wait a second. I feel like there's something I'm forgetting. Ah! Minorikawa stopped and let out a cry of frustration. Why? Daisuke Endo had asked him for a favor after their interview was done. Who was that? Oh, that guy. I was like, who, what are you talking about? Okay. He'd promised to tell the Wandering Angels that the dry ice machine they'd purchased was defective. Wandering Angels Episode 5. At last, the climax of the play draws near. There was a whole string of troubles, but the cast shouldered on, and it looked like things were going to end all right. Then, backstage, Bando noticed that the dry ice machine was acting strangely. Even after it had been turned off, the machine continued to churn out more dry ice. The producer, Tsukozawa, demanded that the defective device be returned immediately. And so Tozuka, Bando, and Amo loaded it into their vehicle and left the theater. Oh, continued in episode 6. Well, now I know. Right in the middle of the street? I know. Well, it's a good use of framing the shot, I guess, but why? Why would he? Well, damn! That had completely slipped his mind. If he recalled correctly, the issue was that the machine started making dry ice. It wouldn't stop. Once. If he ran back to the theater now, he'd lose about 10 minutes. Minorikawa checked his wristwatch. The lone people would be coming by the editing office before too long. He needed to prove to them that next month's issue of 4-Star General Gossip was well underway, or else they'd refuse to wait any longer for repayment. And to do that, he needed to fill a minimum of 6 of the 12 remaining blank pages. Bleh. He couldn't afford to waste even a single second. You don't have a phone? You can't make a call? This was an awkward position to be in. He needed to keep his promise to Endo, but he also needed to spend his time wisely. Guess I don't have a choice. Definitely you need to head back for the theater, because otherwise Achi's gonna get stabbed. He had agreed to take on a responsibility. He headed back for the theater. When he got there, he flagged down the first guy he saw to tell him about the dry ice machine. Hey, make sure you remember what I'm about to tell you, okay? The dry ice machine is broken. The man stared back at him blankly, but Minorikawa just forged ahead. Got it? The dry ice machine is broken. It needs to go back to the electronics store. Make sure you know, you let the folks in charge know. Okay, just tell a random person on the street. It's like, I don't work here, I'm just passing by. His obligation met, somehow, he hurried back to the cafe to get back to his work, to work on his copy. Uh-oh. 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 Was the story that we got like kind of a hint? Like they already packed it up. They already knew that it was a Wendy's. A Wendy's. I'm reading your comments. That's why. They already knew they already knew essentially that it was defective, which is that why essentially basically I shouldn't have gone back. Okay, that was kind of my hint, I think. Anyway, sir, this is a Wendy's moment. Yes, it really is a Wendy's. It actually is. They seemed like an odd pair. A girl who looked prim and proper, while the boy struck him as a bit thuggish. Turns out, it really is a Wendy's. In fact, the boy's clothing was very much in the style worn by Shibuya street gangs. Maybe he'd know something about SOS. Okay, well, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do this little thing where I go back. Go back. 428 Shibuya Wendy's. I was trying to keep my thoughts straight, but I saw it out of the corner of my eye, and I was obviously not thinking. Okay, I think the story was meant to be a hint that like they already packed it up. They don't need to be told about it. It's fine. Alright, he hurried on to the cafe. There was nothing he could do about having forgotten. He hurried on to the cafe. Sorry, Endo. Sorry, Oarai. You're just gonna have to let this one slide. I've got Toyama's life on the line here. I can't believe that was the correct choice. It should just be like, who cares about promises? Who cares about my promise to say this thing? I don't care. He opened the door to the cafe with the practice of a regular. Welcome. The waitress only got so far before her face fell. You again. Hey, hurry up and get me a seat. She grinned wickedly. I'm terribly sorry, sir, but we're all full at the moment. Well, she's not lying at the very least. He looked around. All of the seats were indeed filled. As you can see, sir. Really now? The waitress's grin widened with triumph. Does that guy in the front have on a Kimba the White Lion shirt? I don't think so. I think I'm just crazy. But it kind of looked like it for a moment. It's all in Minorikawa fashion to not care about other people's worries. True. Say that you don't care about other people. That's what I've learned from Minorikawa. Yay. The waitress's grin widened with triumph. Yes, sir. Fine, I'll just right here. Let me get some power. Just on the floor. Oh, on the floor. Okay, cool. Jamming his power cable into a nearby outlet, Minorikawa plucked himself right down on the floor and booted up his laptop. The waitress watched in dismay, then turned to stare vacantly up at the ceiling. She does not get paid enough for this. Just do whatever you want. I don't care. She muttered vaguely. A person can only get away with being obnoxious for so long. Sooner or later, someone's likely to call the police. I don't know who's talking. Oh, it's me. Hi. Minorikawa looked up from his work, startled to see the Burning Hammer salesman standing over him. You're Mr. Boss. Thanks so much for stopping by earlier. Are you going to write your article here? Boss eyed Minorikawa's computer. Oh, that's the latest model, isn't it? Look, I got no time to talk right now. Minorikawa opened the file with his half-written copy. Ooh, what's this? Chaos at bogus weight loss drink sales demo. Boss read the copy aloud. The organizer, Junichi Boss, didn't merely have a whiff of deceit about him. His breath also stunk. Sound good? Minorikawa asked. I want to make sure I gave an accurate impression. Oh, I love what you done with it. This is a great copy. Fantastic. Boss turned to look at him with a manic grin. Yeah, isn't it? I think these two have very similar voices that I've given them. Oh well. They're both kind of deranged and crazy. In a flash, Boss's face went from grinning to livid. Like hell it is! You think I'm gonna let you write something like that? Snatching up the computer, Boss bolted out of the cafe. Hey, get back here! Minorikawa leapt to his feet and rushed off in pursuit. Yay! We've just been a whole ass chase scene. Oh well. As he sprinted madly along, Boss turned down a narrow alley. Minorikawa stayed close behind, desperate not to lose sight of him. His quarry. Courie. You told me how to pronounce this last time, Black Blue. Courie began to weave his way through the back alleys of Shibuya. English is so fun. I love it so much. This guy clearly knew his way around town. You know what? They deserve each other. True. True. You got it. Yay! I'm learning. By Miyashita Park, they zipped up onto the pedestrian bridge. Just where the heck was this idiot going? Oh, he's gonna throw it? Halfway across the overpass, Boss suddenly stopped. You don't have to do this. Please, don't throw it. Confused, Minorikawa stopped as well. Give that back, he called. The next moment, Boss flashed a mocking grin and dangled the laptop over the railing. Uh-oh. Minorikawa lunged toward him, but it was already too late. The most serious scene that Boss will ever have. The laptop left Boss's hand and went spinning down through the air. Then, as the two men struggled, Boss himself toppled over the railing. Oh, well, he's dead. Oh, well. Oh, well. Why has he got that anime pose? I know! It's like, why does he have like a JoJo face? Without hesitating, Minorikawa jumped down as well. Oh, both of us? Alright. Minorikawa landed hard. As he struggled to regain his breath, he looked around and saw a boss beside him. Incredibly, the laptop was safe in the charlatan's grasp. How? 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 Didn't the laptop go down first? Ain't no way. only with boss's luck, apparently. Apparently, he somehow managed to catch it in midair. Before Minorikawa could be too relieved, however, Boss got to his feet and took off running again. How the hell did he grab it? Just like 360 in the air. It's just like, okay, now I'm gonna put this behind me. Like, all this different stuff. And why would he put it behind him? What's the whole point to break it? It's fine. It's anime rules, yeah, sure. It is. It's just real anime rules. Get back here, you little weasel. I don't think so. This boss guy was infuriating. Yeah, he's bleeding. And he was really fast and kind of deranged. Minorikawa considered himself a decent runner, but he couldn't manage to gain on Boss. If running away was a competitive sport, the guy would be a world-class superstar. As he ran along, a peculiar thought occurred to him. Hold on a minute. If he hates my copy that much, shouldn't he have wanted to break my computer to break? Exactly. Why'd he go out of his way to catch it like that? It made no sense at all. Hey! Minorikawa shouted between gasping breaths. What are you planning to do with my laptop? Boss glanced back at him. Gonna sell it. Sorry about this. Really? What? Minorikawa was taken aback. Consider it compensation for defamation of character. In civil cases, the act of unlawfully damaging another person's character or reputation in the public eye. In the criminal sense, the act of disseminating damaging facts about an individual to an unspecified large number of people. Come on, get real. It can't be defamation if the article hasn't run yet. Then consider it an advance on compensation. This was so nonsensical, it made Minorikawa's head hurt. Minorikawa's insanity can only be bested by one man, and it's this guy, apparently. But now, at least, he knew why Boss had dived after the computer. The thief continued to weave his way through the side streets. His speed didn't diminish in the slightest. Damn it, this guy has too much experience running away. True, he does. Minorikawa's stamina began to fade, and finally he lost sight of his quarry. But that didn't mean he was ready to give up the search. There were articles on that computer that were right on the verge of completion. He needs someone just as insane for his crazy, to match his crazy. No, you're good. I know what you mean. It's so interesting because, like, Boss isn't from this quote-unquote timeline, so to speak. It's from Maria's timeline, but as Maria has taken off the suit and gotten more and more serious, it seems, it's just Minorikawa has become more and more deranged. So I guess somehow, intuitively, Boss sensed that and was like, oh, I guess I better go over here instead. Minorikawa's stamina began to fade, and he quickly lost sight of his quarry, but that didn't mean he was ready to give up his search. There were articles on that computer that were right on the verge of completion. Whatever it took, he had to get it back. Boss had said he was going to sell it. Where could he be headed then? Probably he was heading to the sales demo venue. Probably he was heading to a knick-knack shop. Probably he was heading for Endo Electronics. I'm gonna say knick-knack shop? Probably he was headed to a knick-knack shop. Minorikawa recalled seeing one near the Burning Hammer sales site. Demo site, even. He also recalled seeing a poster outside the place that read, "We buy computers at top prices." Oh. There's so much like attention to detail in this game. It's kind of cool. It's kind of neat. And they'll like even point it out for you beforehand to be like, oh yeah, we did say this. Damn. The guy had led him on a wild goose chase. That shop was surely where he was going to sell the laptop. Gulping a deep breath, he headed in that direction. The slow zoom of like, in case you forgot, here you are. There you are, boss. Minorikawa burst into the shop on Center Guy, an accusing finger pointing squarely at the thief. Listen, there's no way I'm buying a computer that doesn't have a power cable. Details. All you sell here is junk anyway. Boss and the shopkeeper had gotten into an argument. Minorikawa recognized the shopkeeper. It was the guy he'd run into on the roadside earlier. That computer belongs to me, Minorikawa shouted as he marched up to them. Give it back. Boss clutched the laptop to his chest. Nuh-uh, I need the money. Knock it off, you're acting like a child. Minorikawa tried to slap him out of his tantrum, but Boss ducked to avoid the blow. And then, bizarrely, Boss froze. Okay. Alright. Amazing editing here. What's going on? A fierce gleam came to his eye. He broke into an incomprehensible stammer. That's it! Boss snatched up a flyer that his gaze had fixed on. Iron Stomach. Oh, the Iron Stomach Eating Challenge. Right. I thought that Boss might use the money from this. And I also thought, since he knows Cheery, he might be able to actually get money from this. So... he awakened to his Sharingan. Like, seriously, what was that editing? They were like, we need this to be like a cool shot here. This right here is my little bluebird of happiness, he cried. You know what? You can have this. Boss shoved the laptop in Minorikawa's arms. And welcome to it, you idiot. I don't need no worthless computer. You're the idiot, Buster. Minorikawa smacked Boss right across the face. Ouch. Hitting him felt good. He decided to do it again. Minorikawa shoved Boss toward the shopkeeper. Hand this guy over to the police, he said. No, not the police. No, not the police. Boss pleaded. Can it, you thief? You tried to rip me off, and you have no idea how much is riding on my work. You deserve 10,000 deaths. Honestly, you'd think that dying once would be sufficient. 10,000? Isn't that taking things just a little too far? I'm sorry already, I give up. Finally, the guy was ready to surrender. Minorikawa let his guard down for just a moment, and then he booked it. Like hell I am! Switching gears in an instant, Boss took off running at full speed. This... again. Get back here, you bastard! Minorikawa was already in pursuit. We don't have time for this, Minorikawa. Let's just go write the article. He stuck with Boss as far as Koen-dori before losing track of him. That guy sure knew how to make a getaway. Breathing hard, Minorikawa stopped and took a look around the area. As he did, he heard a cell phone ringtone from somewhere nearby. It was a new single from pop singer Aya Kamiki. Just everyone loves this song so much. It's so amazing. Could that be Boss's phone? Huh. Could be. Somehow he struck Minorikawa as the type of guy who'd have a ringtone like that. I think that's Osawa's ringtone? Unless I'm crazy. It might be somebody else's, I don't know. It seemed worth looking into, anyhow. He had nothing else going on. What do you mean he had nothing else going on? What do you mean you have nothing else going on? Okay, you have nothing else going on. Minorikawa shifted his gaze around, trying to locate the source of the sound. And then he died. Ah, well. Suddenly, a massive fiery blast knocked him from his feet. By the time he realized it was an explosion, his senses were already shattered. What just happened? He couldn't see. He couldn't hear. He couldn't move his body. Where am I? For a while, all he could feel was an intense pain. Imagine this wouldn't possibly be happening. I don't know. It might be affecting all of Shibuya, but this wouldn't be happening if you had just gone back to the cafe and worked on your piece. For a while, all he could feel was an intense pain, but soon after that, everything faded. Yay! And then there was only darkness. Yay! I think that's the first time that someone other than... Yeah, I think that's the first time that someone other than Kano or Achi has died. Because those two are in dangerous situations, but I think everybody else's bad ends have just been like, yeah, so I got bored and I don't know. I just decided to abandon the mission and do something else for something. Chasing Boss led Minorikawa to the wrong place at exactly the wrong time. This wouldn't have happened if Boss hadn't run when he did. Really? If the MMA fighter, Miku, comes into the knick-knack shop, she'll interrupt their argument and things might turn out differently. That's so specific. I'm sorry, did Shibuya just explode? Or are we not? Whatever. Whatever, that's probably Osawa's fault or something. Who cares? Alright, well, good to know that happened. Let's go. I assume that's gonna be based... Whoa, maybe not, actually. No, it can't be. Osawa is over here. Why is there so many gaps between Osawa's story right now? What is going on right now? Hold on. This is the start of the time block. What is happening with Osawa here? Oh, it's because I got the bad end. Interesting. So it sort of filled out a little bit. Why? Why? Interesting. Achi's bad end has been erased, so we can go back to that. We can also start Kano's. Don't start anything with Osawa, it seems. Thinking about the case. Maybe we'll get an answer to that explosion if we do this? I genuinely want to know. Hold on. I want to know. What happened to the Shibuya Wendy's now? And then no one got their burger and fries. I've never truly trusted anyone, not on a fundamental level. Human beings are a type of organism that I can't get a true handle through mere surface interactions. And the very fact that I've never trusted anyone else means that, inevitably, no one else has ever trusted me. In the end, I should just blow everything up, I guess. Maybe the root of all my problems can be traced back to my heart. As he waited for Minorikawa to contact him, Osawa thought about his current crisis. Oh, he's just... Yeah, he's waiting for... No, that makes sense, actually. Because he's waiting for, Minorikawa. But he's not gonna hear anything now. Okay, trying to decide whether I want to do this. Yeah, it's fine. I want to continue. Assuming Tanaka was behind the kidnapping, then he must have accomplices. and these criminals had mistakenly abducted Maria in their attempt to get the antiviral drug that was in Hitomi's blood. Maria and Hitomi were fraternal twins, but they looked similar enough to be mistaken for identical twins. Still, Tanaka would never confuse the two. The mix-up must have been made by some criminal who didn't know Maria or Hitomi personally. Insisting that Hitomi bring the ransom to the train station was obviously their solution. It had set her up for a second abduction. Oh, right. But piecing together this much of the kidnapper's plan only raised a different question. Why had Tanaka shown him those emails from Hitomi? Wouldn't the criminals want to keep that information hidden? Right, that's true, actually. The more Osawa thought about things, the less they made sense. Just who are my true allies, and who are my foes? Mr. Osawa, a delivery has arrived for you. It was Kajiwara at the study door. Come in. Oh, I thought it was gonna be a bomb, and somehow it just wrecked all of Shibuya, but I guess not. Kajiwara stepped into the room and handed Osawa a letter-sized envelope. Osawa checked the label. Coming. The official Ayakamiki fan club membership application enclosed. Requires a 1,000 yen initiation fee and yearly dues of 3,000 yen. Membership grants several perks, including the opportunity to reserve concert tickets in advance to the general public. Osawa is fond of the members-only website content, which includes Ayakamiki's blog and exclusive videos. Okay. Right. He had requested the application the day he'd gotten back from overseas. Would you mind opening that? Kajiwara asked, apologetically. Why? Why? What for? I'd just like to check the contents of any packages you received today, sir. It's possible the kidnapper may try to make contact with you by mail. Well, this is embarrassing. 3K yen... 3K yen per a year sounds surprisingly cheap for a fan club. It does, doesn't it? Yeah, that's actually really cheap, now that I think about it. Huh, what a deal. Osawa opened the envelope. Inside, he found the expected application, along with several postcards featuring pictures of the singer. Kajiwara peered pointedly at the postcard images. I'm just joking. I didn't have to actually open your mail. I just wanted to. You must really like her, the detective said. And just what sort of music do you listen to, then? Osawa asked, staring at one of the postcards. It was a striking photo that showed off Kamiki's expressive eyes. Let me think. Mostly classical, I suppose. Osawa raised a quizzical eyebrow. Kajiwara continued. Like Mozart or Chopin and the like. Chopin? Wolfgang as a magic flute, yeah, all that cool stuff. Chopin, yeah, all that other cool stuff. We love classical music. He hummed a few bars. Can't say I've ever heard them. Are you serious? Kajiwara looked shocked. Wait, is this the first time we see Kamiki? I think she's been on billboards all throughout the story so far. So we've seen her before, but this is like the first time where like her face is actually in focus for the shot. Are you serious? Kajiwara looked shocked. I'm familiar with the names, of course. I just never had much of an interest in music. Oh, that's such a shame. Would you like to listen to a piece now? Not really. No, thank you. This is not what I expected it to be. I thought we would hear about this bad end for sure. Instead, we're just like, do you want to listen to classical music? I mean, sure. Sure, why not? I don't know. Yeah, but I always thought they cut off her head. Did they? I feel like I saw well enough her face. um I don't know. I think I saw well enough. It's like, yeah, that's Ayakamiki. So, who knows? I suppose I may as well. I suppose I may as well. Um Now that he had brought it up, Osawa was curious to know what sort of music Kajiwara enjoyed. The detective pulls a digital music player out of his pocket. Here you go. Osawa slipped the attached earbuds into his ears. He heard a flow of quiet strings that was soon to be joined by bold, dramatic horns. As the piece continued, it grew more profound and complex, and Osawa could feel his spirit calming. Ah. He took a deep breath, then expelled it through his nostrils. It felt as if the toxic gloom that had filled him was departing with the air. Before he knew it, nearly 10 minutes had passed, and then, all of a sudden, there was an explosion. What do you think? It's quite nice. The theme of this piece is, Kajiwara paused for a moment and thought. Well, it's about how erudition can be boorishness. Accumulated knowledge. The term often connotes an advanced or esoteric understanding. Displaying a moderate amount can impress others, but pompously flaunting it is bound to put them off. I see. Thank you. If I hadn't met you, I'd never discovered this piece. He spoke the words unthinkingly, with unaccustomed frankness. I know that term. I saw it in Honkai Star Rail. Oh no. Are you telling me that Honkai Star Rail could help me to read better? Maybe. I don't know. I heard that the writing in Honkai Star Rail was supposed to be pretty good. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how it differs from the other ones. I know that it's a space one, but I don't know how different that is from the other Hoyoverse games. I'm not too familiar with it, so. Was this the power of music then? I'm very happy to hear that, sir. Osawa gazed at one of the postcards as he let himself be drawn back into the music. Aya was scooping up handfuls of mystical blue sand. The grains dripped down from her fingertips. I feel like I could be in this photo here, Osawa muttered. Like I've lived my life letting so many things slip through my fingers. Ah. Kajiwara thought for a moment before responding. I haven't played much of Honkai Star Rail, honestly, but I am in love with Genshin. I see. I think, yeah, Saruka plays a lot of Genshin. So, I don't know much about Genshin either. I played the very beginning with my cousin. She's like, how old is she actually? She's 11, I think. So I played a little bit with her because she really likes the game, but past the very beginning, I don't know a whole lot about it. Kajiwara thought for a moment before responding. I think anyone who's worked hard to accomplish something and focused for a long time on that one thing is susceptible to those kinds of feelings. Accomplishing something means getting results. That's not where my problem is. Osawa removed the headphones and gave back the music player. You told me not to hide things from you, right? Kajiwara nodded silently. Then allow me to speak frankly. Leaning back heavily in his chair, Osawa took another deep, slow breath. Well, if you ever feel like getting into it, I'm your guide. Thank you, thank you. I don't know if the only thing with like getting into Genshin is that like it's there's like different, from what I know of it, it's like different areas, and so I feel like there's just so much so much content in the game to catch up on, to be up to date with all the releases and stuff like that. And then once you get there, I don't know what you do. You just kind of walk around, I guess, until the next one comes out, maybe. So maybe when Genshin's story is done, if it ever is done, I'm anxious. So anxious that it's almost crushing me. Given the circumstances, sir, that's completely No. Osawa spoke up before Kajiwara could finish. It's not that. It's not that at all. He shook his head vigorously. If the worst should happen to my daughter, how am I going to feel, I wonder? I'm not a man with a wide range of emotions. My heart is always cold, somehow. And the truth is, I've wanted it to be that way. Which is why, if I do lose my daughter, my heart might remain unmoved. I may not even be able to feel a father's sorrow. That's what I'm anxious about. He felt his emotions twist inside him in a way that was utterly confusing. For perhaps the first time in his life, he realized how fickle a thing the human heart could be. Oh, this is a really good scene. Aw. I give you the same advice I give to people who want to watch One Piece. Don't worry about trying to catch up. Just play and enjoy at your own pace. Fair enough. But I feel like that's also kind of why I've never gotten into One Piece. Is like the very similar, but I need to catch up. But I kind of don't want to dilly-dally. If I say I'm gonna watch One Piece or read One Piece, then I need to go all in. So, there's no benefit to rushing through all of it, I guess. It's just a brain thing, maybe. I swear, why are Osawa and Kajiwara such a good ship? They really are. I really like the writing in this scene. It seems like Kajiwara is just the one who gets Osawa out of his shell a little bit. Even like the cooking and things like that happened earlier. Were so good to setting up for this scene in particular. So it's all right, sir. Kajiwara flashed him a carefree smile. What's all right? People who have cold hearts don't worry about that sort of thing. The detective held out his music player again. Here, I'd like you to have this. Please, give it another listen if you like. I think it might help you calm your nerves. Kajiwara took the offered device. Kajisawa. Kajisawa. Yeah, I guess that would be it. It can't be... I mean, what else could it be? Owada? Owada or Kajisawa? Huh. Okay, well. He had dared to open up to Kajiwara just a little, and to his own surprise, he felt grateful for it. Perfection. Perfection in ship names. And how about one of these as well? Why do you keep giving me this banana? The detective produced a banana from his pocket. I'm fine, thanks. Are you sure? Oh, alright, fine. I guess I'll take the banana. Osawa spoke irritably, and then his expression softened a little. You know, you've been getting on my nerves all day. Really? And here I thought I'd been doing what I could to soothe your spirits, Mr. Osawa. It's actually been a real long time since I've yelled at anyone quite so much. As the words left his lips, Osawa found himself thinking back to one particular rainy day. A flashback. We're never gonna get an answer for that explosion. I thought for sure we were just gonna like go in here immediately and see what happened. He accepted his banana. I'm seeing the ship now. Maria had been in 5th grade at the time. Osawa was standing in his daughter's room. In his hands, he held the letter she'd left behind. He happened to glance out the window and saw Maria walking along soaked from head to toe. In an instant, Osawa was consumed with rage. Otosan, Red, Dad, you are only paying attention to it. Tell me you're too busy with work to play with me, so I'm running away from home. Oh, okay. Okay. Struck by an impulse he didn't quite understand, he ran from the room, heading for the front door. Maria had just gotten back inside. Where'd you go? Osawa met her silently in the entryway. Wet strands of hair clung to the girl's forehead as she looked up to her father with a bitter glare. You don't care what happens to me, do you? Ow! Impulsively, he slapped her face. Maria's cheek turned red and tears welled in her eyes. Osawa's anger transformed abruptly into guilt. Well, yeah. He looked at a tiny spot of blood. He gazed down at his palm of his hand and saw a tiny spot of blood. He was shocked by the recognition of what he'd just done, and then he was afraid. How can he slap? How can he slap? Alright. I mean, this is kind of in character for Osawa. We've never ever claimed once that Osawa was like the greatest, the most morally just character in all of gaming. So, I guess this makes sense. But also, what are you doing, my guy? Afraid that his daughter could bring such raw emotion out of him and make him do something so thoughtless. This has nothing to do with anything, but I think that you look a lot better with glasses, Osawa. So I think you should keep them. Is something wrong, Mr. Osawa? Kajiwara was leaning in, looking concerned. Osawa came back into the moment with a start and realized he had buried his face in his hands. No, he muttered, looking up. Just getting angry, yelling at people. I'm not good with that sort of thing. I don't like it. He picked up the music player and fidgeted with the earbuds as he spoke. Well, getting angry and yelling at people, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that's just human. It's human to do those kinds of things. I often said that he was cold and mechanical. Her sarcasm only underlined a fact that he'd always lived with, that he didn't know how to conduct himself like a human being. If you get angry, you show it, Kajiwara said. If you get sad, you show it. It's human nature to let other people know how we're feeling after all. True. But what if doing that hurts the other person? I mean, if you're not physically slapping them, then it should be fine. That's when you apologize, sir. True. Kajiwara with the based life lessons. Ah. It occurred to Osawa that he'd never tried to tell anyone how he felt before. He'd never felt the need to. And yet, right now, he suddenly felt that if his daughters were to appear before him, he might blurt out everything he left unsaid. It was a terrifying thought. Now that I think about it, Hitomi has never really talked much about her dad. I wonder why that is. Oh my god, he's gonna confess. Oh, never mind. Nope, because the wife is in the room. Darling, I opened the door and stepped into the room. The detectives are asking for you. It seems there's been a new development. We'll be right there. We were having a moment. I don't care. Osawa and Kajiwara hurried out of the room. And then I gotta keep out. No. Well, it seems canon. I didn't really make a lot of choices there, so... A lot of choices that matter at the very least. So... it's fine. With that said... Achi? Trying to think... Miku has to show up. Miku just left Maria's storyline. Maybe Miku will see Hitomi and be like, oh my gosh, it's you. I just saw you 5 minutes ago. And then somehow end up at the knickknack shop? Maybe? I don't know. Or we can play through Kano and see if Kano has anything riveting to say right now. That's also a possibility. Let's go with Kano. To the scene of Sasayama's oh yeah! Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Sasayama got stabbed. That was pretty bad. That was pretty not good. Whoops, my bad. Kano practically died from the car when it arrived on the scene in Mariyamacho. The place was teeming with officers and onlookers alike. Out of the way! Please move aside! Kano forced his way through the throng. Sasayama was lying in a massive pool of blood. We just forgot that someone got stabbed. I totally forgot. I completely forgot. I was like, oh, it'll be fine. We'll just go over here and whoop-de-doo-de-doo. Sasayama! Kano rushed to his partner's side. The knife was still embedded deep in Sasayama's belly. Its handle shuddered each time he drew a labored breath. Guess I messed up. Sasayama could only manage a raspy murmur. Please, don't try to talk, Kano urged. Looks like I won't be celebrating the Mrs. birthday. I don't believe you're gonna die. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Sasayama drew a small package from his pocket. It had been neatly wrapped and fitted with a pretty little ribbon. Aw. Here, give this to Mi-chan for me. Kano shook his head. No way. You can give it to her yourself. You've never met Mi-chan, huh? She's real pretty. Probably surprised how pretty she... I know! You've told me all about her. You tell me, like, every 5 minutes. Kano, please. Give this to my wife for me. Mustering up the last of his strength, Sasayama pressed the gift into Kano's hand. Sasayama? Sasayama's hand dropped back down into a puddle of blood. Okay, until it's confirmed, like definitely 2000% confirmed that he's dead. Maybe he's just unconscious. A paramedic team finally arrived on the scene. As Sasayama was loaded into the ambulance, he doesn't have to be dead necessarily. Kano felt a surge of rage roiling inside him. Clenching his fist so hard his nails dug into his palm, he marched over to the captive Aokawaran. You son of a bitch! He wound up for a punch to Aokawaran's face, only to have his arm caught forcibly by the elbow. Spinning his head around, he found Stanley standing there. Standing over Stanley. Let go of me, Stanley! But the American had a grip of steel, and Kano's arm wouldn't budge. They allow you to assault suspects here in Japan, do they? Kano bit his lip, then lowered his shaking fist. No, of course not, he growled. Ao Kawadan let out a nasal chuckle as he watched the pair. With a cold glare, Stanley strolled over to him. He leaned in close to whisper something, and all at once the blood drained from Ao Kawadan's face. Visibly shaken, Ao Kawadan said something back to Stanley. Stanley gave a slight nod, then left the captive with the police escort. Interesting. So they're not... Maria still had that note that had Jack Stanley on it and was like, this guy's bad, don't trust him. So I don't know what that's necessarily about, but I don't know. It might be relevant at some point. Kano went over to him. Hey, what was that all about? Apparently, Ao Kawadan gave Hitomi some instructions. Told her to get into a blue minivan that was parked along Dogenzaka. So Stanley's hunch had been correct. But why had Ao Kawadan confessed so quickly? How do you get him to talk? You don't need to know that. Turning on his heel, Stanley went to report the news about the blue van to the task force. Interesting. Right now, he's very much a morally gray character, I think. Or, I don't know if he's good or bad. I can't really say for sure. Kuze immediately directed the detectives nearest Dogenzaka to look into it, but they found no blue minivan in the area because Maria isn't there. She's just la-di-da-di-da doing her own thing. The order came down for all for all personnel to search for the vehicle. Kano thought back to another item in the Dick diary. Why are we still referencing it? Use the dead as a stepping stone, but be sure to die a stepping stone yourself. Sure. Sure. Yeah, sure. In the abstract, Kano could appreciate the nobility of self-sacrifice, but when he thought of Sasayama's blood-stained figure, it wasn't so easy to keep his emotions in check. I don't think he's dead. I think he just fainted. I think he's fine. I think we're gonna see him later. He's just gonna be like, "Hey, what's going on?" First time you've ever seen a fellow officer get hurt? Who's talking right now? Oh. Stanley had come back over to him. We don't have time to relax. If you can't keep your anger in, then do something about it here and now. Surely he's fine. I mean, Stanley said he got hurt. So that doesn't necessarily mean killed. So surely he's fine. Stanley pointed to his own jaw. Hit me. American style. What do you mean American style? What is American style? Just, I don't know what you mean. Kano smiled wryly at the unexpected proposal. No thanks. I'll be fine. I think I'm the one who deserves to get hit. Without a word, Kano just threw the punch. Sure. Why not? Without a word, Kano threw a punch. Stanley soaked up the rage-fueled blow, his face a mask of calm. Kano felt all the more miserable in the face of such unflinching resolve. If I weren't such a bumbling clod, Sasayama would have never... Hey, don't blame yourself, Stanley said. You guys have been doing better than I expected. More sarcasm, huh? Stanley's mouth curled up sheepishly and held his hands wide. Stanley's jaw is too chat. He didn't even feel it at all. I know, right? I was like, how could this choice matter? Like, surely punching him would leave a bruise or something, but I guess Stanley just shrugged that off. He was like, I don't care. I don't care. Kuze's voice suddenly cut in over the wireless. Okay, cool. Hitomi might have been there, and maybe the kidnapper's ringleader would turn up too. On pure reflex, Kano broke into a run. Stanley followed close behind. They sped up through the back streets, making their way toward Koendori. Kano was a pretty fast runner, but Stanley kept up with him without apparent difficulty. Were you in the army or something? No, the Marines. United States Marine Corps. I think. A rapid deployment force specializing in amphibious landing operations, an independent branch of the armed forces along with the Army, Navy, and Air Force. The Marines' motto is Semper Fidelis, Latin for always faithful. Interesting. Corps. Okay. Corps. It wasn't much further to Koendori. For some reason, I don't know why, I always mess up that word. I always read it corpse? Core? I don't know. So, thank you for the correction. Kano, if we find that van, don't get too close, Stanley warned. It could be a trap. These people... Okay, it could be a trap. These people will do anything to carry out their goals. Anything, huh? I think those people in the bar are definitely dead. They're like 100% dead. But, I don't know about anyone else. Kano could sense the truth of Stanley's words. He reminded himself that his life could depend on remembering them. He raised his eyes. They were coming up to Koendori. Suddenly, a boom as loud as cannon fire shook the area. Uh-oh. Something's wrong, Kano thought. That's no ordinary city noise. Wait a minute. Oh, this is a video, too. This is very, very interesting. At the very, very beginning of the game, we see, like, a person inside a van, and then that van blows up. Maybe that's this? Finally? That's finally happening? A column of black smoke rose up from between two nearby buildings. Passerbys stopped and stared, gasping in alarm. Oh, super... very much video. Yeah, I think so. Stanley's face right now is a lot more emotional than I would have thought, given everything. He's like, oh my gosh, did something just catch on fire? What the hell? Then Kano saw flames. This hadn't been an accident. Someone had set off an explosion. The Shibuya precinct wasn't too far from here. Kano recalled the attempted bioterrorism attack on Kasumi Gaseki. Attempted bioterrorism attack. 2 years ago, the Metropolitan Public Safety Commission obtained intel of an imminent bioterrorist attack within the city. Immediately afterward, an unoccupied minivan exploded outside the Metropolitan Police Department, and a device for dispersing a bacterial contagion was discovered on a subway platform at Kasumi Gaseki Station. Having determined that the city bureaucracy was the target, the Japanese government contacted the terrorist organization responsible in secret, making a deal to put an end to the threat. This is very interesting lore to just get dropped here all of a sudden. That incident had begun with a van exploding outside of the Tokyo MPD station. Already a large crowd of onlookers was gathering. Shouts rose up as they took in the scene. What's going on? What happened? That car is on fire! That car is on fire! Oh my gosh! Kano called in to HQ, then quickly slipped around to the back of the burning vehicle. It was a minivan. Peering at the flaming chassis. Chassis? He could see that there was someone inside. Oh no. Could that be Hitomi? Once they had their hands on the antiviral, the criminals would have no further use for Hitomi Osawa. Everything's happening. Everything all at once, apparently. Already, the body had been charged to ash. I think it was a guy. I think? A guy was in the car and there was someone outside looking at the van. Who was a girl. And I mean, the only girls that exist in this universe that are relevant are Hitomi and Maria. So, we'll see about that. If I remember that scene correctly. Already, the body had been charred to ash. At this point, it was hardly recognizable as human anymore. And then I gotta keep out. Cool. Alrighty then. Huh. Alright. One bad end. A ton of keep outs. We can only continue with Hachi. We can only continue from here. So let's go and do that. Hachi didn't slow his pace until they were nearing their destination. He turned to look back at Hitomi. It's only a little bit further now. Do you want to walk? I'll be alright. Hachi, look out! Looking ahead again, Hachi saw that they were bearing down on a young school-grade girl. Her head hung in dismay. Oh. Hachi hurriedly caught the girl up in his arms. Why? Took a quick leap to one side. I don't know. Catch her. Why did you do that? Hachi hurriedly caught the girl up in his arms. Oh, was she falling? I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. Anyway, the maneuver kept her from out of harm's way, but the momentum swung her high up into the air. She dropped a sheath of papers that she was carrying. As luck would have it, the papers fell amidst the trash scattered alongside the road. Oops, sorry. I love her. She looks so angry, so pissed at all the scenes that she's in. She's just like, why can't I have a normal life with my dad? Why did I have to be caught up in this? Hachi stopped to gather up the sheets of paper, noting that each was adorned with some sort of writing. They don't have plot armor. True, the person inside the van did not have plot armor. Here. Looks like they got kind of messed up, though. The pages had landed in some kind of spilled liquid. Most of them had gotten stained. It's alright, the girl said gloomily. You should just throw them away. It's not like I can sell them now anyway. You're going to sell them? Hitomi asked. We're sorry. Do you think you'll be able to redo them? Hachi, is there a stationery store around here? Yup. Up, at the top of Dogenzaka. Hachi said. Here. He took a 500 yen note from his wallet and offered it to the girl. To buy new paper. I know I can't replace the stuff you wrote, but... The girl eyed the money doubtfully. But... It's fine. Go ahead. Take it. Thank you very much. And then she just walked... Where's your father? What is he doing? Whatever. The little girl spoke with surprising formality. Then she turned and headed up Dogenzaka. Hachi gathered up the trash and tossed it into the garbage bin before he and Hitomi continued on their way. Hachi led Hitomi to an old multi-tenant building. They hurried inside and headed up the stairs. Behind the reception window on the second floor sat the custodian, sleeping on the job. Yukinori Kitajima. His main job is overseeing the monitoring room for the local surveillance cameras. Oh, okay. You're that person. But on the side, he also works as a novelist and game scenario writer. He often sleeps on the job during his free time, but sometimes while he's sleeping, he gets his writing done. Um, while he's asleep, he gets his writing done. Oh, like, like having dreams. Okay. Just recently, a certain game was released set in Shibuya, but since he wrote the scenario and emailed it to the game company while he was asleep, he didn't know about it until just the other day. Interesting. Maybe this is the real Shibuya Wendy's game that we were talking about. Hey, wake up, man! Achi gave the window a tap, and the man woke up with a start. Huh? Achichi! Don't scare me like that. That's one chi too many. And wow, you sure have a lot of free time on your hands. Yeah, no one's been by to check today. But that's not so bad, right? I mean, I guess it is, the surveillance room, but still. The man let out a big yawn. My dad asked me to come down here and check on the security monitors, actually, Achi said. Sorry to bother you when you're busy, Hitomi added with a polite bow. Huh? Who are you? You with Achichi? I'm Hitomi Osawa. Nice to meet you, Achichi. Oh ho ho. What, you Achichi's girlfriend? Again, too many cheese there, and that's none of your business. Just let me have the key. Hoping his blush wasn't too obvious, Achi mimes unlocking a door. You won't answer a simple question. You want me to hand over the key? Yes, I'm his girlfriend, Hitomi said. We've just started dating. Hitomi? So I'm sure I'll be seeing more of you, sir. She flashed a winning smile. Oh, well, what a surprise. Never thought Achichi would land a fine lady like yourself. Achi's face right now is like, huh? The surprise custodian held out the key. Good for you, Achichi. Still one chi too many there. But yeah, dating. Achi gazed into Hitomi's face, even more surprised than the custodian. Winning smile. Yay! The key dangled, swaying to and fro like a pendulum between Achi and the man behind the counter. Achi, Hitomi said, nudging him in the side with her elbow. Come on. Oh, right. Snapping out of it, he took the key and headed up to the next floor. He's like grinning like an idiot. I'm sorry, Hitomi said as they entered the monitoring room. For just saying that we were dating like that, I mean. It was a pretty clumsy lie. No, it's just kind of sudden, is all. I was just a bit jittery, I guess. Achi felt his cheeks color again. I mean, I figured I'd have to say something or he wasn't going to cooperate, Hitomi said. She looked a little embarrassed herself. She looks like she's teasing a little bit, but I know that's not her character. I think that's more of just the actors having fun. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make things weird. No, Achi said. Nah, it wasn't weird at all. Hitomi got the major viz. Well, I know what next stream title is. I know what that's going to be about. Achi, get out of here. The real Rizzler is Hitomi over here. Actually, it's kind of... He stopped himself there. Now wasn't the time for that sort of conversation. They needed to find that blue minivan. Riz Tomy. The surveillance camera monitoring room was really just a big office with a single computer. Achi knew it well. Why do you have a big office with just one computer in it? Okay. So this is the monitoring system, he explained. He switched on the computer. You can see all of downtown Shibuya from this one computer. Hitomi gazed impatiently at the monitor, even though it wasn't showing anything yet. The look of sheer determination on her face held Achi enthralled. You talk about how attractive your sister is, Achi murmured. But as far as I'm concerned, right now, you're the lovely one, Hitomi. Hitomi looked at him, uncertain. I mean, look at the lengths you're going through and the risk you're taking to save your sister, Achi said. I think that's Hitomi? Talking? I can't bear the thought of that something might happen to her. And the last time we were together, I said such horrible things. Plenty of people do bad things without even realizing they're bad. Never mind trying to fix it. I'm just doing what I think is right. Yeah, but these days, most people don't do the right thing. Heck, if they did, Shibuya wouldn't be covered in trash like it is. Me? I appreciate it when someone really cares about the things that are important. Doing the right thing is a matter of course. That's very attractive. Achi bludged. Alright. Well, with that said, thank you so much for showing up to the stream, everyone. I really appreciate it. I'm not gonna end. Not right now. We're gonna go the full 2 hours, but man, am I off my game today? More than usual. Achi blushed as he said it, and Hitomi shyly looked away. I think the system is ready. Turning to the computer, Achi hastily changed the subject. This thing's so simple, even I know how to use it. Clicking on the mouse, he brought up a row of four windows on the monitor. Okay, those are the cameras. Are we about to see a van blow up? Maybe it's a blue van, I see. That blows up. And so Hitomi's gonna run over and be like, oh shoot. Well, I have to go over there and see what's up, because Maria might be in there. Thank you for the clips. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Each window showed a different view of the Shibuya cityscape. The image quality is not great, but that's because it's being updated on a 2-second delay, I guess. Achi tapped on the keyboard, bringing up shots of different locations. He clicked on one of them in order to enlarge the image. Maybe we really can't find that minivan with this. Oh, that was Hitomi speaking? I don't know who's talking. Hitomi was practically glued to the screen. My dad's the one who designed this security system. Your dad must be pretty amazing. Well, he graduated top of his class at Tokyo Denko University. A prestigious national university founded over a century ago. Applicants who placed highly on the entrance exam can receive a full scholarship. Achi's father was one such attendee. The school was supposedly has supported extensive research into artificial intelligence and recently announced an AI program known as Body. While the computer is asleep, different personalities emerge, which has an impact on various normal thought processes, forming a network of more human-like thought patterns. As a result, I mean, this game came out in 2008, so it was pretty rudimentary, but yeah, okay. Well, not that AI research has been around since like the 80s, but since 2010, I think, to 2020, things have been like a little bit different than what it was in 2008. So this is, I don't know what this is. He always said he could have had a career in computer engineering, but he took over the electronics shop so that he could marry my mother instead. That's such a sweet story. Do they run the store together then? Achi shook his head. No, my mother died when I was 4. Oh, I'm sorry. Hitomi sounded even sadder than Achi. Well, anyway, never mind that. Here, look. The seedy-looking weirdo they'd run into at Gigo was on the screen. Oh, hey! It really is him. And there's Minorikawa, about to die. Cool. Huh? That guy again? Said weirdo was running all out, a laptop computer under one arm. Oh, hey, they're here. I know they are. Okay, if he still has the laptop, that means this is before the explosion. So that's good. Like, it's a fair amount of time before something explodes. He was being chased by a man in a long coat. That guy sure gets chased around a lot, huh? Achi said. When the weirdo slipped out of view, Achi switched to another camera. The new view showed the weirdo running again. By hopping from camera to camera, they could track him wherever he went. So long as we have these cameras, Achi said, this guy has nowhere to run. Nowhere to run, huh? The moment he said those words, they struck an odd chord in his mind. He remembered their repeated run-ins with the man with the cane. Huh. Really? He would have like a little mini device to hack into the cameras, and that's how he knows where we are? Why are you tracking them anyway? That's a good point. I don't know, because we can. Because we can, and it's fun, and I don't know, we have nothing better to do. We're looking for the blue minivan, so maybe we'll see it eventually by tracking them. He remembered their repeated run-ins with the man with the cane, how the assassin had seemed to always know where to find them. Achi, please, Hitomi urged. Stop messing around and let's look for the minivan. Sorry, there's just something that I'm curious about. My bad. There's just something that I'm curious about. Achi continued to track the seedy-looking man. The weirdo rushed into a knick-knack shop on Center Guy. Soon after, a man with a coat appeared and followed him into the shop. Aha! Looks like he snatched that guy's computer. This is such a riveting story for you to know, Achi, I guess. Hitomi has that death glare. She really does. She's like, what the frick are you doing? Still, they remain glued to the monitor. I think that... No, Maria doesn't have a phone. So I think it is Osawa and Hitomi who have this ringtone specifically. Still, they remain glued to the monitor. Oh, that's me. Hitomi took out her cell phone. It's an email from Mr. Tanaka. Okay. Yeah, it was about time for my mood to take a dip, Achi thought. What? Hitomi blurted out. She looked up from her phone. Hachi, Mr. Tanaka found the minivan. He what? What does he say? Read it to me. Okay. I ran after it, but wound up losing sight of it. It was heading toward Jinyan. That's what it said. That's what he says. What about your sister? Finally, a jump. Finally, jumps are real. I don't believe it. Do we want to do this right now? Where did the jump go? Wait, what? The keep out was here, wasn't it? Well, that's awkward. Anyway, what about your sister? Was she inside? He doesn't say. Achi switched over to an array of surveillance cameras near Jinnan. A few seconds, the transitions The few seconds those transitions took felt agonizingly slow. Well, it's not a keep out anymore. But I have to jump to do the keep out. I've always had to jump for a keep out to happen. Unless something else has changed. That must mean I did something else on somebody else's timeline, and that changed something. That has really bad consequences, probably for Maria. Oops. Finally, 4 new images popped up. Achi quickly enlarged one of them. Hitomi let out a tiny gasp. Yeah, there it is. There on the monitor was the blue minivan. There was no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Is this a... I was like, this can't be a keep out. Achi and Hitomi rushed from the building toward Jinyan in an all-out run. Oh... Wait, what? Run, Achi. Run, Hitomi. Run, other guy who's looking for Miku. Minorikawa? Is Minorikawa looking for Miku? Oh. The game said, what are you talking about? Are you high? Okay. I don't know either. I'm sorry. I thought that was gonna work. Neither spoke. They simply dashed along in silence. Achi felt as if they'd been running a marathon and the finish line had finally come into view. The game just said no. No. You were not allowed to. Okay. They hooked a left at the station and darted past the Seibu department store. Aha! Achi pointed as he came to a stop. We're all about to die, so we better get away. The blue minivan was still there, parked by the curb along the slight hilly incline. Leaving Achi behind, Hitomi started rushing up the hill. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Alarm bells started going off in Achi's mind. Someone from the kidnapping crew was in that van. It was dangerous to approach so carelessly. Stay back, don't get too close. Hitomi, wait. Stay back. Achi shouted. I don't even know if she's gonna listen, but she didn't appear to hear his cries. Okay, well. Uh-oh. The hope of rescuing her sister had driven all else from her mind. Achi started to run after her. Hitomi had reached the vehicle already. She brought her face close to one of its windows, but the tinted glass obscured the view inside. Hitomi circled around to the minivan's other side. Achi saw her grasping at the door. Uh-oh. She slipped out of his view for just a moment. And then it blew up. Ooh. Ooh. Video. I know. The CGI effects team must be so proud of this game. They're like, heck yeah, we did it. Yay. Also, yay, Hitomi's dead. Oh. There was a thunderous explosion, and a gout of flame tore the roof off the minivan like it was made of aluminum foil. Hitomi! Horrified, Achi charged through the roiling smoke, searching for Hitomi. He saw 2 figures sprawled on the street, several meters from the van. What? Hitomi and Kanan. Kanan... Nice save. Nice save. Also, what? What do you mean, yay? Well, I thought this was gonna be a bad end. Yay to sort of filling out the bad end list, but apparently it isn't. Apparently this is fine. Hitomi, wake up! Achi cradled her in his arms. Her eyes drifted open faintly. Are you okay? Are you hurt? Hitomi didn't appear to understand him. Her only response was a blank, dazed look. True, if you're right in front of like an explosion like that, your hearing has to be gone. Even for only a little bit. There was a small patch of red on her face. Achi wiped it gently away with a finger. He saw no further signs of bleeding. She must have been splattered by someone else's blood then. Who was that person in the van then? As far as he could tell, she hadn't been gravely injured. Achi let out a sigh of relief. Hitomi, is she alright? Kanan stirred on the ground. Her clothes were scorched in places, and she was bleeding from her head. Kanan, did you save her? Is she alright? Yeah, what about her sister? Kanan didn't respond. No, it can't be. Achi went to look inside the van. Amidst the smoke and the flames, he could make out the outline of a body. What happened here? Achi had to look away. Get Hitomi out of here. Hurry. If those guys show back up... Kanan's face twisted up with pain. Alright. Achi settled Hitomi carefully into his arms. Interesting, so... The explosion definitely wasn't meant for Hitomi, because they want Hitomi alive. Maria, on the other hand, is like, who cares? But they want Hitomi alive, so that couldn't be meant for her. But who is that meant for then? Was that just meant for Kano? Or Stanley? Or somebody? Somebody on the Force, I guess. Or maybe even Kanan. Wait, I need to tell you something. Oh, wait, I need to tell you something. Kanan's pain gasp called him back. Alphard. What? What are you talking about? Alphard. That's the name of the mastermind. Oh. Alphard? Who? Huh? Is it all gonna come back to that friggin' professor that we saw at the very beginning of the game? Hitomi's professor is like, yes, indeed, it was me, all along. You did not know this, but it's indeed me. I don't remember his name. It was not Alphard. It was definitely not Alphard, but I don't remember what he said his name was. Okay, well. Alf from that show? That would be a very interesting final mastermind for the game. I think it was Palmer? Okay, Palmer. Yeah. Did they ever give a first name for him? I don't remember. I don't remember. If they didn't, then it's Alphard Palmer. And he's like, mwahaha, look at me, I'm the mastermind. I'm sure it'll come up again if you keep pursuing this. But if you value your life, don't get involved with Alphard any further. Now go. Okay, and thanks. I think they did give a first name and it wasn't Alphard. Okay. I'm still gonna say it's him. Just for theory's sake, I guess. But I mean, he could be lying, I guess. I don't know. Can you cite your sources, Kanan? We can see if you're not really being correct with this. I think they get oh yeah. I got that comments. You also don't even know who Alphard is. Yeah. But it's fun to make theories. I think it's the teacher. I think the guy with the cane is friggin' Kano's hero. Everything's connected. Everything's connected. Like, is it a real name or a code name? Probably a code name, so. With Hitomi in his arms, Achi hurried from the scene. He wasn't sure where he was headed. He just wanted to get away, wherever that meant. He carried her past the crowd of onlookers that had swiftly begun to assemble. This is a cool shot. I'm not even saying anything, but this is actually a very cool shot. The flames of the burning van rose ever higher, roaring up toward the heavens. To be continued. That was just the end of it. That was the end of the time block. Okay. Alright. He's a cool guy who doesn't look at explosions. Exactly. Exactly. Good for him, to be honest. Wait a minute, what? How is this possible? What? Something strange. Something's very strange about this time block. Osawa starts over here. Achi's ends over here. Something is very, very strange about it. I think we'll get more answers. I think it does cover the entire time block. Right, like this is just the earlier part of that hour. And this is just kind of the later part of that hour. But it's still the full hour. It's just very interesting the way that it's set up right now. Assuming that we didn't make a bad end, a bad end choice. Well, anyway. With all that said, I think it's a good time here to sort of end stream for today. They don't have to experience the full hour. Right, there's some larger gaps in between stories. So I guess there's just like really large gaps in certain stories. But still, I think this is quite a sizable amount of time. I think we've never had this before. So, interesting. I think now is a good time to stop for today. Next time I will be back with 1000 Resist on Saturday. And then next week I will be back on Monday and Tuesday, I believe. And definitely with more of this game. I'm trying to decide if we're going to do 2 of Shibuya. And then... or maybe 1 of Shibuya and 1 of 1000 Resist. I don't know for sure yet. Wednesday I definitely can't stream, and then on Thursday I have surgery. I have a big surgery in the morning, and it will probably take me expected about a week to recover. Hopefully, if everything goes well. So with that said, I doubt I'm gonna be able to feel like streaming or sitting up or anything like that. With that being the case, let's just try to get through as much of the games as we can. So, hope everything works out. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. I'm a little nervous about it, but hopefully it's for better quality of life, so hopefully things should go well. Good health and all that stuff. But I want to make sure that I don't know. Here I was with 1000 Resist thinking, oh, we're just gonna end the game like after 5 chapters, it will be fine, and then that didn't happen. So now I'm in a kind of a point where it's like, this is the longer game of the 2. So maybe I should just do 2 Shibuya streams and see how it goes. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll deal with that when it happens. Either way, Monday will be the Shibuya stream. For sure. For sure. So let me go ahead and set the controller down and see if anyone is online to raid. Future Courier's problem. Exactly. I don't have to worry about that right now. Making plans? What's that? Oh. And there's my alarm. There's my alarm. Ooh, okay, so, we are going to raid Coco the Cowgirl VTuber. This was somebody that Juicy did fan art of, and I really like her design. So we're gonna go and say hi for a little bit. Let me go over to ending screen. Wahoo! Alright, well, if you are here, thank you so much for hanging out for a little bit. I really appreciate it. We'll be back next week with some more of this game. Hopefully everyone will be fine, nobody dies, Minori Kao will be saved, and then he'll go and cause some more terror for everybody else. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye bye. Bye bye. Hello. Hello again. It's me. Oops. Oopsie daisy. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. You know what? We're gonna raid somebody else. We're gonna raid somebody else. Oops. Oopsie daisy. We're gonna go raid Kirito and say hi and be cool and chill. All right. Thank you. Bye bye bye. Bye bye everyone.